We were taping the show, and there was some major breaking news that just came out. Some transcripts, at least excerpts from the transcripts of the special counsel that interviewed Joe Biden and alleged that he had at times had forgotten the name of his son and more, has now had and been released ahead of Robert Hur's testimony, the special counsel, before Congress later on today. We wanted to take some time out of the show just to bring you some of the excerpts from that transcript because, frankly, they are extraordinary and they do back up Mr. Hur's claims. Let's go ahead and put this up there on the screen. And I'm going to read directly from the transcript, specifically from the time when Biden appears to have forgotten the year that his own son, Beau, had died. He says, well, several I's, I don't know. This is 2017, 2018, that area, the special counsel. Yes, sir. Mr. Biden, remember, in this time frame, my son is either been deployed or is dying. And so it was. And by the way, there were a lot of people at the time when I got out of the Senate that were encouraging me to run at this point, except the president, I'm not, and not a mean thing to say. He just thought that she had a better shot of winning the presidency than I did. And so I hadn't at this point, even though I'm at Penn, I hadn't walked away from the idea that I may run for office again. But if I ran again, I'd be running for president. And so what was happening though, what month did Beau die? Oh, was it May 30th? A White House lawyer, 2015, unidentified male speaker. 2015. Mr. Biden, and this is the key quote, was it 2015 he had died? Unidentified male speaker, it was May of 2015. Biden, it was 2015. His lawyer, I'm not sure of the month, but I think that was the year. Another person, that's right, Mr. President. Biden. And then what's happened in the meantime is that, and Trump gets elected in November of 2017, he asks, unidentified male speaker, 2016. 2016, all right. So then why do I have 2017 here? White House counsel. That's when you left office, January of 2017. Yeah, okay, but that's when Trump gets sworn in, January, right. Mr. Bauer, right, correct. Okay, yeah, and in 2017, Beau had passed, and this is personal. So, I mean, Krystal, this is crazy. Also, they haven't released the line from this, but this is your and mine favorite one so far. Mr. Biden needed to be nudged to recall the name of the federal agency that takes custody of official records, the National Archives, or that a fax machine is the name of the device that transmit images of documents over phone lines. Ironic because he's so old, he probably did use fax machines, whereas you and I know the name even though we have outlived them.
I have used a fax machine.
I've never used a fax machine.
But listen, I was saying sometimes my brain feels a little bit like this, but I do feel confident I could always recall what the name of the fax machine was. I mean,
let's be real here. Like, this is crazy.
Here's so a few things. First of all, you'll recall that the president took great umbrage at the idea that he could not recall when his son had passed. He also took great umbrage at the notion that the special counsel had even brought this up. Well, it's clear from the transcript, the special counsel didn't actually bring it up. Joe Biden himself brought it up, and it is entirely accurate to say he was unable to recall, even within a few years, the date of when his son died. Not only that, in the same exchange, you see him struggling with the dates of when he was vice president. I mean, listen, you guys who are watching are probably political junkies like we are. I mean, those dates of 2008 and 2016 are permanently etched in our heads as these seminal political moments of Barack Obama getting elected and then Donald Trump getting elected and being sworn in, not in 2016, not in November of 2017, but in January of 2017 when he's sworn in. So to be really struggling to grapple with this basic timeline is really something. And then, you know, the line about he couldn't recall what a fax machine was. You know, there's a lot of we're reading the New York Times accounting of this transcript. There's a lot of cope in there about, well, they didn't talk about all the times when he was lucid, and they didn't talk about the fact that he seemed to have this really great recall of the layout of his own house, which is like, okay, we're supposed to be impressed with that. But, you know, I think it speaks to the fact that you can have moments like President Biden did in the State of the Union, where he more or less had it together and seemed, you know, energetic and lucid, et cetera. And then you also have times, and anyone who has elderly loved ones, friends, family, whatever, can relate to this. You also have times that are very foggy and where you're struggling with basic names, dates, places, et cetera. So I think the transcript is entirely consistent with that understanding of where the president is mentally, and that understanding which is shared with the American people. I think it also, Saagar, it underscores some of the predictions we were making about how the impact of the State of the Union, which was, billed so highly by the pundit class, is unlikely to be sustained, because for every instance that you have like that, where he seems like, all right, he's still got some, gas in the tank, there are instances like what's represented in this report where he's struggling, he's fumbling, he's mixing up names, he's mixing up countries, presidents of countries, et cetera.
Yeah, I mean, look, and it's not an exaggeration. Again, I'm going to read directly from the transcript. He says, do you have any idea where material would have been before it was moved into your garage? Biden, well, if it was 2013, then he goes, when did I stop being vice president? Someone says 2017. So it goes, so if I was vice president, it must have come from that stuff. That's all I can think of. Then he later on is asked, my problem is I never knew where any documents were coming from or who packed them, just that I got them delivered to me. So at this stage, 2009, am I still vice president? Someone whispers to him. He goes, yeah, okay. I mean, again, you and I both know. I'm like, yeah, dude, you became vice president in January of 2009 when Barack Obama took the oath of office. So yes, in 2009, you were the vice president. 2017, we all know when Barack Obama left office and Donald Trump assumed office. Like, how do you not recall that immediately off the top of your head? I had previously seen Joe Scarborough defend Biden and be like, I loved my mother more than anyone else. And if you immediately ask me, I may not know the time, the exact year that she had died. I'm like, well, first of all, that's concerning. Second, I don't believe you. But third is what it becomes clear here. It is a pattern of being clearly mixed up. More so, it is backed up entirely by multiple public moments, Krystal, of confusing the president of France with Mitterrand, who is now dead. He has been gone for so long.
That's right.
And no longer the president, confusing the names and the leaders on top of people that he used to consort with or his times in the past. Like, this is all a much bigger pattern in his public life, which is now confirmed, shockingly, honestly, in an official transcript by the Department of Justice, who again concluded they could not prosecute him because no jury would believe that like a doddering old man, willfully was trying to hold secrets inside of his garage.
Yeah, that's right. And, there's a lot expressed that we can see in these bits of the transcript that we have in front of us about he has no idea how, this is what he's saying, no idea how these boxes came to get there, no idea what's in those boxes, doesn't even recall the documents that are in these boxes, et cetera. And so I think that plays into the special counsel's recommendation not to charge him based on the fact that, a jury would be like, this man is confused about all kinds of things, including how these boxes apparently ended up in his garage. The other thing that I'll say here is that, the American people have legitimate concerns about what's contained in this special counsel report, how that reflects upon his ability to do the job. These are, understandable, legitimate, based on their experience of the president at this point in his life. And his team is also sort of communicating to the public that they also don't have confidence in his ability to assuage these concerns, which is why they keep him hidden so much. It's one thing, yes, he did the State of the Union off of a teleprompter. It was okay for all things considered. But, free-form interviews with difficult interviewers, giving press avails, et cetera, we know the way that they have really sheltered and shielded him from those exchanges. There has not been a commitment yet to even debate with Donald Trump. I don't, that may be a smart strategy, but in terms of democracy, they really owe it to the American people for them to get a sense of where he really is, not just on one night, but overall a more complete picture in general. And listen, I also want to say there are a lot of people that despise Donald Trump. And even if he's consistently as sort of befuddled as he comes off at times in this transcript, may still say, I don't care. Like, it's not a great situation, but I'm still going to vote for Joe Biden. But they really do owe it to the American people to make him more available so that that determination could really be made.
Yep, I totally agree. But look, yeah, it'll be up to the American people. What I just can't believe is that they actually do want to run him for 5 more years remaining in the office. It is what it is.
Hey guys, if you like that video, go to breakingpoints.com, become a premium subscriber, and help us build the best independent media organization on the planet.
That's right. We're subscriber funded. We're building something new. We want to replace these failing mainstream media organizations.
So again, to subscribe, it's breakingpoints.com.